Hi guys, welcome to a new vlog. Don't pay attention to my bed, I'm washing my bed sheets. But I needed to film an intro for this vlog because for some reason it just didn't record. So basically in this vlog I read 8 books in 4 days. Technically I read 9 books in 4 days, but for some reason I just didn't feel like counting the book that I read, so whatever. Basically my power went out, and it was a huge storm, and the power in a lot of Michigan went out, and the power was supposed to just be out for a few hours and it ended up being out for 3 days. So yeah, this is me vlogging my experience of the power being out and how much I read because I had literally nothing else to do. And the power usually goes out every summer, to be honest, but it's never went out for like this long. It usually be out for like a day, a few hours, whatever. But yeah, so this is just what I read. My camera randomly just shut off. But the funniest thing about last night was the power went out at around 1 a.m. We heard a firework go off and then the power went out, so I think a firework just caused the power to go out. Like I think like one of the things had popped too close. So all night, like I just went to bed. I was like, alright, well, peacing the fuck out. So I went to bed. My phone was like not charged. I usually have my phone charged all day, but of course the moment that I'm always prepared, and the moment that I'm unprepared is the moment that the power goes out. So my phone is on 20%. I've been listening to Eric of Minibone, a book, okay. So yeah, so I've been reading that, and then once my phone dies, hopefully I finish it before my phone dies. But also my brother's computer, I don't know if his computer is dead or not, but I think I should be able to charge my phone on his computer. And then on top of that, I have my own computer, but my computer is about to die. It's probably on like, I want to say like 25-30%. So it's about to die, so I can get a little bit of charge out of that. So once my phone dies, I'm gonna charge it, and then once it's charged, I'm not gonna use it anymore. And then my iPad is on 30%, and I will be reading Camp Slaughter. That is a book club pick for me and Jake's book club, but it's currently 4 p.m. and the sun doesn't set until 9. So I'm gonna start reading that at 9 if I can. My phone might die, like who knows. So I'm cleaning my room right now, and then once my phone dies, I'm gonna read the Bromance Book Club. But like I said, I'm cleaning my room right now, so hopefully I'm done. Like I'm listening to the audiobook and cleaning my room. We don't have any like flashlights or anything. Although my mom, she used to have like these mini flashlights in her room from her job, so I think she might have one of those so I can use. But like we don't have like any, like we don't have like a kit for like power outages. You would think we would because it happens every summer, but we don't. Yeah, so I'll read Bromance Book Club, or maybe I might want to read a Stephen King book. That would be fun. Yeah, I might want to read this. So I'm gonna try to read I haven't read a physical book in so long. I need to get back into physical reading anyways, because I've been mostly just laying in my bed and writing away. But I'm cleaning my room because I miss laying on my floor and like watching TV, laying on my floor and reading. Like I am a lay on the floor girly, so I really miss doing that. So I'm gonna clean my room, and like meditating on the floor used to be so fun. Like ugh, I am such a floor girl, okay? I'm a floor girly. So yeah, the only thing is, like I was just thinking today, I was like, if there was a zombie apocalypse, I would not survive without power, like without Wi-Fi. Like I would not survive. I'm always like, oh yeah, like one part of me thinks that I will survive a zombie apocalypse because I've watched so many, and I actually have a Mayana's zombie apocalypse survival guide, even though I've never been in one, but I have like a guide. That's why we need to get a power outage kit, because that would help us in the zombie apocalypse. But I have like a plan of like what me and my family could do to survive, like where we could go and things like that. But other than that, like realistically though, like even though I watch a lot of zombie apocalypse stuff, realistically I would not make it. I would not make it. Like I was like I mean, I have all my books, but like once they infiltrate, like I don't know, I just don't think I would make it. Like no Wi-Fi, and not even just like zombie wise, like fighting. I really think I could fight a zombie, but like with the power, like I keep trying to get on Twitter, I keep trying to get on TikTok. I have a bunch of TikToks I was trying to upload. Twitter is like, you know, not being on Twitter is fine because I have nothing I need to say. I was trying to upload a picture on Instagram today, so that's going not so great. Like I said, I was trying to upload a TikTok. I was trying to upload some TikToks, but it's good that I was taking a break because like my TikToks are not doing that good, and it's like making me a little frustrated. But my shorts are doing pretty good for me. Like my shorts are doing pretty good, so I don't mind like filming TikToks and just uploading them and whatever, and then uploading them as shorts because I know my shorts will do good. So that's usually what I've been doing. It just, I'm not on TikTok to go viral, but it makes me sad when like I put in such hard work. Like I have filming days, like I'll do my makeup, and it's just so much easier to film for TikTok because I just do my makeup really fast and then I film my videos. Whereas with filming for my YouTube channel, like I have to bring out my camera and my ring light and all of that stuff, whereas with TikTok I can just do my makeup and just film and I can film a bunch too, and they're just short videos. I can film that quick. I think I'm gonna try to film more shorter videos for YouTube, like keep my videos shorter, because I do like the short videos. It's so much easier to edit, it's so quick. Oh, and then editing for TikTok is so much easier. Like I can just do it all on my phone. It's just so simple. I don't even know if, like, what I'm trying to say. Whatever. I need to get back to reading. I need to get back to cleaning my room because I'm wasting time. I'm wasting daylight, you know what I'm saying? It is hot. Whew, it is hot as balls. Oh my gosh, bitch. So I finished Elric of Manyborn and Many whatever. I don't give a fuck. Okay, I finished the book. I'm gonna give it 3 stars. This book is about this guy named Elric, and he becomes emperor at the beginning of the book, and basically his cousin is trying to conspire against him, so he has to like go on this adventure to like defeat his cousin, because his cousin is like super evil, and his cousin like tried to kill him. Like they do not get the fuck along. And so basically it's just like following the story of Elric and him trying to defeat his cousin and like trying to save the girl that he loves. Just a really simple fantasy story. I think I'm gonna give it 3 stars. I thought it was like very simple. I really liked like Elric in the beginning. Like he was really naive in the beginning, and I mean he's kind of naive still, I'm not gonna lie. I do think he's naive, but he knows that, and he's very aware, he's very self-aware of that, so I do like that. But I thought the characters were just like very like bland and like didn't really have much personality. They're very dull, like, you know, like they were just like characters in the story instead of like trying to give those characters like, it's like the characters were there to move the story along and not like I want to write this story and have these characters. But that's all. I'm only on book 1, so I don't know. It was very quick. I'm still cleaning my room, but my phone is on 2%. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna charge my phone. I'm going to go make me something to eat. I've been like trying to get rid of stuff as well. So at least working on like getting rid of stuff, and it's just like really hard because I'm not good at getting rid of things. But yeah, and then I gotta take out the trash. I already said that, but I don't mind taking out the trash. But it's gonna be dark at night, so I actually want to take out the trash. But it's not. I can actually take out the trash now, to be honest. So I'm probably gonna make me some food so I don't pass the fuck out, bitch, and then take out the trash. We have a gas stove, so I just made noodles. But I mean, I could have made something else, but I didn't feel like waiting for things in the oven. Like noodles, like this took me like maybe 5 minutes. Oh, my back. But if I would have made like, I was gonna make some mini corn dogs. Girl, I'm not sitting there for more than 5 minutes, especially because I can't use my timer. Yeah, not happening. But I'm charging my phone now. My phone was on 2%, and now it's on 23%. So I'm gonna see how much it can charge until my computer dies. But I think if it gets to 50%, if it gets to 50%, I'm gonna charge my iPad so that I can read like when it's like really late, if I can't find a flashlight somewhere. Okay, so it's getting dark, so there's nothing I can do about this lighting, unfortunately. I'm sorry. So I started reading the Bromance Book Club. I am only 1 page into the book so far, and so far, okay, this book is taking up all of my lighting on my camera. So far I think the book is interesting. I've only read 10 pages. It seems like a 3-star read, maybe a 4-star if like I really feel. I can see it being 4-star. I can see it being a 4-star. I'm only a chapter in, but when I read books, I start off like in the 3 stars, and then I either work my way up or work my way down. Girl, you're taking up my lighting too. Here comes Apple. Yeah. So it's basically, if you don't know what it's about, it's basically about a married couple. It's following the guy's perspective, which I kind of like. I think this book, like, so far from what I'm getting, is like this book would be really good to give like to your boyfriends if you want them to read, or like your husbands, or like straight men that you are wanting to get like read more romances. Because personally, like when I date someone, I think they have to read romances. If they are a reader and they read like similar to me, I'm gonna have to have them read just a romance book or so. I think it's important for straight men to read romance, okay? And so I think that the Bromance Book Club is a good book to give to men to read so far. But it's about this married couple, and the book starts off with the main married character drunk. His wife just asked for a divorce, and his friends are helping him, and they clearly have something planned, which we know is the Bromance Book Club. And they're like, okay, sober up, we'll meet you tomorrow, we're gonna have our first meeting. The entire book is just like trying to figure out what happened. They're like, oh my. So yeah, his wife wanted a divorce because he wasn't like satisfying her anymore. And then instead of, because at first, when I first was thinking about the book, I'm like, when I first read that I knew that he wasn't satisfying her in their marriage, and that was the reason why they were having issues. But when I read that she asked for a divorce, I'm like, no way this woman asked for a divorce because he wasn't satisfying her. Which, I mean, granted, even if that was the case, actually, it would be very understandable. But it turns out that like he wasn't satisfying her, and then when she brought that up, he started acting like a child and moved to their guest bedroom and started ignoring her, which like felt, because if you start doing that to me, why are we married? First of all, you're a child, and if you want to be doing all this childish shit, like, we might as well get a divorce, you know? So I understand, homegirl. So yeah, I'm just gonna read more and see what their relationship is like, and see how it goes. And I'll probably be back tomorrow morning with an update to see like how many books I've read tonight. But yeah, I'm literally using my flashlight because I had to come on here and say I was wrong. I think I'm gonna give this book 4 or 5 stars. Like, Apple, I think I'm gonna give this book 4 or 5 stars. Once you really get into the plot, it gets, not even the plot, but once you get to like the Bromance Book Club part, it's so good. Like, literally I'm smiling. Also, I think the main character Gavin is so freaking cute. He has this stutter that like I think is so hot. I don't know why, but I think it's kind of I'm giggling. I have not felt like this reading a romance in so long, okay? And then also the book club, they rate their books, they call them a BB, and then they give it a rating, which means a book, BONER. I don't know if I can say that on YouTube, but yeah. And it's crazy because it's like the TikTok spice levels, which this came out before Book Talk really blew up. So spice levels weren't really a thing. So like that's also like runny. But like they were like, they're telling him they read I'm sorry, but when I get a boyfriend, he has to read this book. Like, this book is so good. I'm literally 30 pages into it. It is so good so far. I had to come on here and in the no lighting that I have, and that makes it better. In the no lighting that I have, and literally rave to you guys about how much fun I am having, because I'm giggling like a little schoolgirl. And I also think what helps is the fact that I took a break from reading romance novels. I haven't read a romance novel all month, so I think that helped out a lot. I ended because Apple's gonna get in my way. She does this like literally every time I'm in front of the camera. Like, she does not care any other time of the day, but once I'm in front of the camera, she's like, oh, I think that I want to go look out the window now. It is literally 9 a.m. The power still is out. I did finish 2 books yesterday. One of the books I finished is the Romance Book Club. I ended up giving this book 4.5 stars. I actually really enjoyed this book. Like, I could see this book being a movie. It just made me so like giggly, and it was so cute. I lit a bunch of candles. I posted a TikTok and a picture on my Twitter account of like what my room looked like, because I lit a bunch of candles and I was like literally sitting here burning the fuck up. But I had these fans that my mom has for some reason. I don't know, but they come in handy. And I had like 5 candles lit, which I was worried about the 5 candles, and it was hot. It was hot. And my brother was in here. He was playing solitaire like with his cards, and then my sister came in here for a little bit. We all just like hung out in my room. We always hang out in my room during power outages, which I like think is so fun. But I was like literally, I had to sit by the fire, bitch. Like I had to sit at the fire and read. But it was like so fun, like sitting at the fire in the dark and not getting on my phone. It's like literally no point in checking my phone. I did upload some TikToks at like 3 a.m. though, because it was the only time I could. And then my phone is dead. My iPad is at 30%. Somehow my iPad percentage like was really good. So the Bromance Book Club was just so cute, so fun. I ended up giving it 4.5 out of 5 stars because I thought that Gavin was really cute in the beginning. I thought his story was really cute. The way he was acting made me forget that he was supposed to be fine. Because, I mean, he's not, I don't think he's described as fine, like, you know, super hot or anything, but he's a baseball player, so obviously he's supposed to be hot, right? Like, the way that he acted kept making me forget he was supposed to be hot. Like, and it was just like, the thing that really got me was just like, he wasn't listening. Like, his friends would tell him, okay, like, don't do this. And he would do it anyways. Or, like, the romance books would clearly be telling him, like, what to do. And he just, like, wouldn't be doing, like, he would do the exact opposite. Like, it's kind of like he didn't really, like, change as a person until, like, the end, because he was really just doing whatever he wanted to do. Like, he was still arguing with her over stuff. He wasn't really trying to do stuff, like, to show her that he loved her, if that makes sense. Like, he was just pissing me off bad. And then also, the sister, Liv, also pissed me the fuck off. I hated how rude she was to Gavin, because I mean, like, I'm reading the second book. I started the second book, the audiobook, and I got like 30% in, and I like her personality. I think the second book is very interesting, but I like her, and I like her personality. But in this book, I just don't like how rude she was to Gavin. Like, I can see if he like cheated on her, which like the author would never do that, but like, I feel like she didn't have a reason to be mean to him, because yeah, the wife, like, he left her, but that's because the wife told her to leave. Like, I don't know. And then I think this book also has like a, like, it's feminist, but also has like stereotypes about women. Like, oh, women love women and wink at them, and women love this and women love that. And it's like, we're all whatever. I'm not even gonna get into that. But it's like, I liked the romance. This book made me giggle. I like the friend group. I like the Bromance Book Club. I like how close they are. I like that they all aren't baseball players. I did like the second chance romance. I love second chance romance, and this is one of my favorite type of second chance romance, where the couple is getting a divorce to that. But yeah, I love second chance romance, and it just reminds me of why I love second chance romance, because it's like, he clearly didn't want to lose her. Like, it's not like he cheated. He really didn't do anything. He really just didn't fight for her enough. And he was like child. I just feel like, also I feel like the reason why she wanted a divorce, I mean, I get it, because if a man ain't acting right, he can get left. Okay, that's the man motto. If he ain't acting right, he can get left. Also, this is a good quote in this book that grandma says, where it's like, if a man wants to leave, the most you can do is wave him goodbye and lock the door. Oh, wise words, you know. So like, I understand it. I get it. But yeah, so I gave this book 4.5 out of 5 stars, mainly because Gavin irritated the shit out of me. And also Liv irritated me, I'm not gonna lie. She was annoying. She was getting on my nerves. Because it's like, I could understand if he did something bad, but he just didn't fight for her. That's it. Like, he didn't fight for her. Which is understandable, because my man, like, but that's why I love second chance romances, because it's like, they know that they don't want to lose this girl, and they like start like trying to fight for her, and like showing her like how much, I just love second chance romances. Like, and this romance raised my standards. Like, my standards was already high. My standards, like, I'm sorry, but I need a man who reads romance books. I'm so sorry. And I know there are men out there who read romance. I was watching Love Island, and there's a guy on Love Island who's fine as hell, and he reads romance. Like, he literally looks like Jason Momoa, and he reads romance books. So if a fine ass man can read romance books, then your average looking ass can pick up a romance book every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? So I thought this was very fun. And then I read a book called Red Shirts. It's by an author that I actually read right when the power went out. But it's called Red Shirts. It's about It's like a Star Trek thing. Well, I think it's not just in Star Trek, but I've heard of it mostly in Star Trek. It's like this curse that they have, where it's like if you aren't on the opening credits and you have a weird shirt and you go on a mission, you're basically not gonna come back alive. So it's based off that like curse that they have in Star Trek. So it's about these characters, and they start realizing that every time like these certain captains go on a mission, that people end up like not coming back alive. And so it's like, it's so crazy because the book starts off with so many characters in the beginning. It's kind of off-putting, and then it was so crazy because I was like around 96 page, around page 90. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna read until 100 pages and then I'm gonna go to bed, because that's usually what I do when I start a book. I usually read 50 pages or 100 pages. And so I was like, okay, well, I like the first 50 pages. It was a little hard, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna read 100 pages and then go to bed. Girl, I got to page 96. I sat the fuck up. I said, oh, this book is getting good. Like, I don't want to spoil it because I feel like it's better when it like hits you out of nowhere. But basically there's this plot line that kicks in, and I feel like you shouldn't even be expecting it. Like, there's this plot line that kicks in and it just changes the game. I've never read a book like this before. I've never read a book like this before. It was crazy because I've been wanting to read a book like this. I've been wanting to read a book like this, and I don't know why I'm repeating myself, but I've been wanting to read a book like this, and I thought it was so good. I thought it was so good. It was so fun. It took a lot of risks. It was crazy. It was wild at the time of my life reading that book all night. I like the characters. You get used to like the fact that there's a bunch of characters. Also, half of them end up disappearing. It was crazy. Like, I've never read a book that took this route before. If you like Black Mirror, I think you'll like this book. Even if you like Black Mirror, Star Trek, you'll like this book. I think if you just like Black Mirror though, you'll still like it. I want to say like the last like 100 pages though did like lose me, because it was this thing called a coda. I don't know what that is, but it was like very like it was like very boring. I didn't really like it, but like I thought the end of the book, I thought the book was very fun. It was gonna be a 5 stars up until I got to like the 200 page mark and started doing like the codas, and I was like, I don't care about any of this stuff, to be honest. But I mean, it makes sense to why it was happening. I just didn't care, you know. So I thought it was a really good book. I thought it was really fun. Power outages are when I read the best books, and maybe it's because it's when I actually sit down and I read. But it's 9 a.m. Obviously the power isn't back on, so I was trying to go back to bed because I went to bed at 5 a.m. I was trying to go back to bed, so I was hoping like I'll wake up and the power be back on, because I got a lot of stuff to do when the power comes back on. Okay, I got some TikToks I need to upload. I got some TikToks I need to film. And then after that, I have some books I need to read. Well, my iPad is still charged. My camera is dying though, so I do need to charge my camera. I do want to get to these 2 books, and then I have a bunch of other books I need to read for the end of the month. I have to read Camp Slaughter, which is me and Jake's book club pick, and then I want to finish my Lord of the Middle Earth books that I'm reading. I have 3 Middle Earth books that I need to read also before the end of the month. Mind you, it's like July 27th. Okay, girl. But I really, like, I don't mind, like, not finishing the Lord of the Ring books. Or the Middle Earth books. I just want to finish them because I know how I am, and I feel like I'm going to lose interest and not want to finish them once I, like, am, like, into. But I feel like this power outage helped me out so much. Like, I feel like I, am, like, back into reading. And, like, an ideal day to me would be waking up, reading, then checking my phone, then getting on Twitter, spending like an hour or 2 on like social media, getting off, finishing my reading, reading a book. Once I finish the book, I start a TV show for the day, and then maybe I'll like pause for a little, or maybe I'll like finish a book, get on TikTok a little bit more, then I'll watch a TV show for the day. That's ideally what my day would look like, and I will wake up at a decent time. I'll wake up around before 11, like around 11 a.m. 11 a.m. I'll wake up, and I would have all that. But the way that my body works, it's like waking up late, I don't feel motivated to do anything. And then recently, I don't know why, but I've just like really been on TikTok. Well, I've been really on TikTok because I've been looking for like video ideas and sounds that I can record to, because it's easier for me to have the sounds prepared for when I film. And I'm like watching other people's videos for like video ideas for myself. But TikTok itself is not that interesting right now. Like, I'm running down my battery time, so I can't be sitting here talking. But basically, I need to limit my time on TikTok. I've been feeling like my time on Twitter. I haven't really been on Twitter as much as I usually am, which is really good. But my time on TikTok is like very high. Ideally, like in an ideal perfect life, I actually wouldn't use social media that much. I would just film my videos, edit my videos, upload them throughout the day, and be reading my books. I have a lot of books I need to read. But I feel like the power outage has really helped me. Like, I can, because I haven't sat down and just read a book in so long and enjoyed it. So power outage helped me, like, girl, you can read a book in a day. Like, girl, you can read. You can sit down. I read a physical book. Like, I read this whole thing physically. Like, usually when I read physical books, I'll read some of an ebook. Like, I'll lay down. No, I sat in this chair and read this entire book. I did lay in my bed mostly, but I sat in this chair and I read this entire book. Like, I'm so proud of myself. So yeah, I'm gonna do a try chapter of the Tommyknockers and Slewfoot. Even though I've read a little bit of Slewfoot, but I'm gonna do a try chapter of both these to see which one I want to read. I really want to read the Tommyknockers. I want to read both of them, but I want to read the Tommyknockers first because I've tried to read Slewfoot and I thought it was a little boring. But also, I was listening to the audiobook, so I'm reading it physically. So I think I'm gonna do a try chapter. So, I made me some mini pancakes. They're not in a bowl. I just feel like it would be more convenient. I went out to my mom's car and I charged my phone to about 40%, and then I turned it back off because I really like that I'm like reading right now. I'm having a lot of fun. And then I started Slewfoot. I'm on chapter 1. I'm liking it so far. I've tried to read this before and I wasn't really feeling it. I think reading it was the better option versus listening to the audiobook. There was like a part in the beginning that kind of spooked me. I wasn't really expecting anything creepy to happen in the beginning because mostly with these books, like, nothing creepy really happens until like a few chapters in. But like, it was a little freaky. And also, I'm thinking of it as like Fear Street 1666. So I'm like in that mindset, and that was already creepy enough for me. So like picturing that plus the scene that happened, I was like a little freaked out. But I'm kind of enjoying it so far. I think reading it physically has helped so much. But like, I just re-sparked my love for physical reading. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm so excited. So the only thing about, like, I'm honestly doing fine with like not having any power. The only thing is that I now have to eat without a TV show. I have to eat in my silence. Like, no music, no TV show, no TikTok, no nothing. I have to eat with my thoughts in the silence. I'm a bit of an iPad kid in the sense that I need to watch something when I'm eating. So I have nothing to watch. So okay, so they're obviously not turning, it's 5 p.m. Like, they're obviously not coming today, even though they said they would. I just woke up from a nap. I read a little bit of Slewfoot. I read a chapter, and then I was about to read a chapter of Tommyknockers. But then I was like, you know what, bitch, I need a nap. I thought I was just gonna sleep for like 3 hours, but also I didn't get 8 hours of sleep last night. I got 5 hours of sleep. So my body was like, no girl, you are going to bed. So yeah, I wish I would have turned, I thought like the power would be on, so I didn't turn my phone off, and my phone was on like 50%, and I woke up to my phone being on like 20%, 26%. So I just turned it off. I probably won't use it until like in the middle of the night when I get like really bored. Cause like I can read during the day, like I'll be fine, but it's just like in the middle of the night, like when like probably when I'm ready to blow these candles out, which I don't know if I'm gonna light some candles today because it is hot as hell. Like, bitch, it is hot as hell. And I have 38% left on my iPad, so I'm probably gonna read Camp Slaughter tonight as like a little bedtime book, because I need to read that for me and Jake's book club, but it's really just a buddy read and we call it a book club. But yeah, so I need to read Camp Slaughter tonight, so I'll do that. It's hot as hell. At least yesterday, like, it was like raining, so it was like a little windy and like muggy and like warm. Today it's just hot. Like, they can't just be leaving this power off. Our fruit in our freezer, like, I'm trying to like eat that shit. Like, I just put some chicken nuggets in the oven. Like, I'm trying to like get through that shit. Like, our food in the freezer is literally like unthawing. Like, they need to like actually hurry the fuck up. Like, I'm being so serious. Like, my sister was gonna make chicken. We're probably gonna have to get rid of that because like, it's not good, because she took it out the freezer and we were supposed to make it. Like, they can't just be leaving people's power off. Like, No, and then we're connected to a main street. Like there's a big light, like there's like a we're not connected to a main street, but there's a light like right outside of our complex. Like people need to drive. Like there are stores like on our block, like gas stations and stuff. Like they can't just be leaving the power off, you know. But like they're obviously not just like, oh, we're lazy, we're gonna not turn on. It's obviously like they have other people to get through, because I think when my brother was checking last night, it was like 2,000 people with their power off. So like I get it, they can't get to us like immediately. But damn girl, it's hot as hell. I'm thinking I'm about to wake up from my nap to some power, because like there's like a specific beep that you hear when the power comes back on. It's like a beep, and then everything just comes back on. So it's such a satisfying sound, to be honest. Didn't hear that at all. Didn't hear it at all. So I'm about to read Tommy Knockers and Slewfoot. I redid my room yesterday. Well, not like redid it, but I cleaned my room yesterday, and like I redid my shelves kind of. So like I have books here now on the floor, and then I have some books here, as we can see, Return of Red Rising, because those have been missing from my shelves for a minute. And then everything else fine. I'm thinking of getting rid of this shelf, not getting rid of it, but you know, redoing this shelf and making it also sci-fi. So then these two shelves be sci-fi, and then maybe keep this shelf. But I don't have enough sci-fi books to do two shelves, so I don't really know about all of that. But maybe once I get some money, I will be able to. And then, I mean, here are these shelves. I really wish I could have like my full like library. Like ideally I want the black Billy bookcases, and yeah, and then I would have, I think I need, when I get the Billy bookcases, I think I'm gonna need like 4 of those. I mean, I think I might need 4 to 6 of those like immediately, because I think I own about 600 books. But obviously I won't be moving out for a while, but I'm always thinking like what I want my library to look like, so I can know like once I do move out, whenever the fuck that is. And then this is my new desk setup. I mean, not really new. Don't mind all the candles, because those are like how I keep my light. But like my switch and like my crystals and my diffuser that I'm obsessed with, and my Funko Pops and the books I'm currently reading, and my TV that I don't really use but I kind of use. I don't know if I want to keep this TV here or get rid of it, so then I can like have my laptop and put my laptop there. But also sometimes I do use the TV. I just don't watch anything on it, but I might, because I do have a DVD player. But sometimes I just play video games on there, but like not very often. I don't know. But yeah, this is my desk setup. And okay, my battery's dying. I'm literally just wasting time. Okay, let me give y'all, oh, my battery's dying. Okay, let me give y'all an update as quick as I can. So I guess so I'm on day 3 of no power. They're supposed to come tomorrow. I don't know why they made us wait this long, because it's like, it's not even just like our complex, but it's literally like our entire block. Like there's like a CVS, the gas stations, like the light, like nothing is working. Like it's actually very frustrating. Like my mom had to drive, like we went to go get gas, and like my mom had to drive like into a different neighborhood, and I'm like, this is crazy. Anyways, so I read these 2 last night, and I also came up with a TBR of what I want to read. I read 100 pages of the Tommy Knockers, and then I'm currently reading this book. I'm really missing Fear Street, if we couldn't tell, so I'm trying to get like back into like the Fear Street books, because I really miss the movies, and I know they're supposed to be making another Fear Street movie, so I'm just trying to read them to see like maybe what story they pick up. I'm hoping they pick up Fear Street Returns. I mean, I'm only in a chapter in here, but I feel like they would pick up Fear Street Returns. I really want to get more into these, because I'm only read a chapter so far, but I think these are so good. I think my issue was that I didn't want to read a lot of these, because these seem like they're for like, you know, YA and middle grade, but honestly there's nothing wrong with these. I mean, these are pretty good. I mean, this one sucked, I'm not gonna lie, but this was pretty good. It wasn't like amazing, it was 3 stars, but it gave me a story idea, to be honest, because I want to write my own horror book someday. So this actually helped me out with a slasher book that I was trying to write, and this one was just dumb. But I started trying to collect these Fear Street books, but then I realized how small they were, and I was like, I can't do anything with these. But these were fine. I might actually get back into collecting these, because they were really cool, and they were like $1 or like some cent on like Etsy and eBay. But yeah, and then I read 100 pages of the Tommyknockers last night, 160 pages to be exact. I decided I'm gonna read 160 pages. Even after our power comes back on, we're not gonna have Wi-Fi until Tuesday because my mom switched our Wi-Fi service. So I'm gonna be reading, but it's like the end of the month anyway. So I'm gonna be reading 160 pages every day until the end of the month, so for the next 4 days. So far the Tommyknockers is fine. It's just this about this girl who discovered a spaceship in like the woods, and it follows that. But you know, Stephen King, like, he can't ever just write a simple story, so like now we're following like random people. Also, whoever said that the scene where the guy goes to town to get batteries, he sees Pennywise in the sewer, he's lying. There's no Pennywise. I literally read that scene. There's no Pennywise. I googled it though. It does happen in this book because I wanted to make sure it happens, but it just doesn't happen in that scene. Because I really want to read that. Like, I think that would be so cool. So yeah, like I said, I read a chapter of Slewfoot. I'm liking it so far. I only read a chapter and then I took a nap. I'm really liking it. And yeah, that's as much as I can give for an update. And I guess I'll see you guys when I can charge my camera, or maybe I'll be able to turn my camera on later. Battery's dying. I have to go through this quick because I do not know how much time I have left. So I finished You've Lost a Lot of Blood. Originally I was going to give it 3 stars, but I think I'm going to change it to 2 stars. I was going to give it 3 stars because I like Eric LaRosa. I read his last book. I know his potential, but their potential. But I did not like this book. It's like a story within a story. I just thought it was like really boring, and then the story didn't really connect with the other story. There was things that just didn't connect with the original plot line of the book, and I just didn't care. The cover is beautiful, and that's also a reason why I gave it 3 stars, but I don't give a fuck about this book. Okay, just finished Return of Fear Street. I think I'm going to be giving it 4 stars. No, sorry, I think I'm going to be giving it 5 stars, maybe 4.5, because I didn't really care for the ending. But this book was like actually really good. It has a good plot line. This is really good for anybody who loves the Fear Street movies and misses them and wants to get back into the world. I feel like this connects very well to the Fear Street movies. Very fun, has like a lot of drama, has a lot of twists, and like I always thought I could see where the twists were going. I only caught one twist, and that's because it was very obvious, and I think that was the point. But every other twist that happened, I kind of guessed it, but like I wasn't correct at the same time. This was just so much fun. I'm really be reading the rest of. I did not expect to enjoy this, especially because I don't really like YA books, but R.L. Stine knows what the fuck he's doing, and I'm absolutely obsessed with these. And I need to read the other Return to Fear Streets and see what else I can find of like the Fear Street. I'm obsessed with like the Fear Street universe, if you couldn't tell. Okay, and then I read, I don't know, what's 160 plus 160? 320 pages of The Tommyknockers by Stephen King. I don't really know how I feel about this book. The beginning was very interesting, but of course, as most Stephen King books, the middle book part of the book was just very uninteresting. I find that he over describes a lot of things for no reason, and there's a lot of things in the book that don't really need to be in the book. I don't know why he always does that, but yeah. So I'm just gonna crank this out and finish the rest of this tomorrow, and then I'll probably end up giving it like 3 stars because I think it's fine. I really like the idea of the story. But other than that, I feel like a lot of the times the things that Stephen King writes in his books are unnecessary. But if I am correct, I think he was on drugs when he wrote this book. Or not on drugs, but like a little bit on drugs when he wrote this book, so it's understandable. Okay, and then lastly, I didn't read Slewfoot, but I'm gonna read as much as I can until the sun goes down. Also, I think it'll be fun because I've mostly been reading like horror and thrillers, which low-key this has made me discover how much I love horrors and thrillers. But I think the issue is I don't like a lot of the horror books that a lot of booktube likes for some reason. I like very particular horror books, and so I mean the ones that I own I do like. So I think once I get some power, I'm gonna look into some horror books that are similar to the books that I'm liking so far. And I'm gonna look into some more R.L. Stine, like Fear Street books to see. I mean, I've read most of the Fear Street books on my Kindle, but I didn't really care for those. Those were like childish. I feel like this one, I think the reason why I like this one is because this is YA, but they're adults. Like, they're like 21. Like, it's just set as YA, but they're adults. Like, I feel like this should be like an adult book. I feel like R.L. Stine should write an adult horror, but whatever. But I read this as an adult book, and once I started looking at it as an adult book, because like I said, they weren't really teenagers. Like, literally nobody was under 16 in this book. So once I read this as an adult book, I liked it. But it's not even that I read it as an adult, like it just reads very well. Okay, my battery's dying. Okay, gotta go. Bye. Terrible lighting, but The power came back on. It's literally Friday night. I'm charging my phone as I speak. I actually was charging my camera, but I wanted to end this clip so once my camera, like once I charge my laptop, I can start editing and stuff so I can have this video up, because we still don't have Wi-Fi. We're not gonna have Wi-Fi until like the middle of next week probably. So I wanted to end this clip because I'm gonna have to use my hotspot. So I want to try to do everything tonight and like, you know, get it up and everything. But yeah, I finished this. So I read in total, because I had me a little notebook. I don't know if I showed you guys. I had me a little notebook. So I read in total 8 books, and then I'm also currently reading Slewfoot. And because I don't have any Wi-Fi, I'm probably still gonna stick to my power outage TBR is what I like to call it. So Insomnia by Stephen King, and then the rest of my books my camera is actually on. But yeah, so I read 7 books. I read Elric of Manyborn, which I gave 3 stars. I thought it was pretty decent. I'm not sure if I'll continue on with the series. I low-key probably will, because I think the covers of the volumes are beautiful, but it might take me a minute. I don't know, who knows, I might read some of them next month, who knows. But I'm glad that I read the first book. I just thought it was okay though. Then I read Bromance Book Club, which I gave 4.5. Oh wait, I can hold these up actually. So yesterday my shelf broke and I was so sad. Okay, yeah, so then I read Bromance Book Club, which I gave 4.5 out of 5 stars. I basically only gave this book 4.5 instead of 5 stars because I did think that Gavin was really annoying for a male love interest, simply because of the fact that he never listened to the advice that the guys gave him or what the book was clearly telling him to do. Like, it seemed like he wasn't listening, at least in my opinion. But like, other than that, I thought the romance was really fun. I like the book club and I can't wait to continue on with it. Now that I have power, I can listen to the audiobook before bed and stuff, because I was actually like halfway through the audiobook. So yeah, I can continue on with this series and I'm very excited. I'm obsessed with these books. Well, this book at least. Well, no, so far I'm obsessed with the series, I would say. And then I read Red Shirts, which I gave 4.5 out of 5 stars. This book was crazy. If you love weird books, I highly recommend you check this out. I will say the last 100 pages kind of like fell flat for me. I didn't want to say fell flat. I just didn't care for the last 100 pages. Like, I thought the book was so crazy and fun, and it just went in a route that you would just never suspect. And then I read 2 Fear Street books. Well, 2 Fear Street chillers. Well, 2 Fear Street super chillers. I read Bad Moon and The Dead Bodyguard, which I gave this one 2 stars. I gave this one 3 stars. These were fine. These were okay. Now reading another Fear Street book, I think that like, even though like R.L. Stein is clearly like an author who has over 300 books, I think he really grew from like these super chillers to Return to Fear Street, because these Return to Fear Street just feels more adult. I mean, these feel more adult too, but like, these are very obviously for teenagers. Like, even though like these characters feel adult, these are obviously for teenagers, which is like, duh. These were still fun to read and they were like very quick. It took me an hour to get through, like it took me an hour each to get through both of these. And then I read Camp Slaughter, which I don't remember if I mentioned. I think I forgot to mention it. I read Camp Slaughter. It is my book club pick for me and Jake, even though it's literally just a buddy read. He picked this month's book. I thought the Camp Slaughter was fine. I just feel like there was a lot of characters and too much going on, but not enough going on at the same time. That was a bit long for my liking, and I just didn't really care about the characters. Like, I think for some reason slashers don't translate well over to books for me, mainly because like the characters are like very like boring and bland. And I mean, I guess as slashers, I guess like in like actual slasher films, the characters are boring and bland, but I find them more interesting in TV shows, so whatever. And then I read You've Lost What I Bought, which I gave 2.5 stars. I was originally going to give this 3 stars, mainly because I like the author, but then I realized, girl, don't do that. Like, you did not like this book. It's a story within a story within a story within a story within a story. It's really not. It's really just a story within a story, and like a lot of other things going on, but the story within the story literally had nothing to do with the rest of the book. So it's just like, I just feel like this book was long and useless. They really could have cut out the like story. They could have made these like 2 different books, to be honest. I think I would have liked it better if it was 2 different books, if it was like separated. But I was gonna lie to myself and be like, yeah, like this book was, no, I didn't enjoy this. I didn't have a fun time. And honestly, I gave it 2.5 stars. still because I like Eric LaRocca, even though I've only finished one of their books. And lastly, I have read Return of Fear Street, which I gave 5 stars, and I am super shocked by this. I had a lot of fun. This Return of Fear Street is called You May Kill the Bride. I want to read other Fear Street books like this. I feel like this book just felt so like grown up. I mean, the characters are like basically adults. Like the main character is 17, but her sister's like 21. And I just really love the story that this tells, and the characters. I don't really love, I like the characters that it follows. It has a lot of drama, it has like a gasping moments. Like I literally was like talking out loud reading this book, like, and everything. Like I just had so much fun reading this. Yeah, so I just had so much fun reading this, and I want to read like his other books, his other Return of Fear Street books. I know there's only 2 more Return of Fear Street. I'm hoping that he does something else in like Fear Street because of the movies. I don't know, I love Fear Street, like I love them, okay, like I love them. And then I'm currently reading Slewfoot. So yeah, I really like this. I honestly like that the power went out, especially for as long as it did. I feel like it got me into a good routine of reading all day and staying off my phone and waking up early, not spending too much time on my phone. And because we're not gonna have Wi-Fi for a few more days, I feel like I can really stick to that habit and get in the habit of waking up, not really being on my phone too much, and reading. I really miss it. Just also brought back my love of like physically reading, and I feel like it's brought back my love of reading. I realized that not reading romance books, I found my love for other books. I think I said that earlier, but just in case I didn't, like I feel like I rediscovered my love of like other genres. Like I realized that I really love horror. I never thought I was like, I love horror movies, but I never thought I was like a horror reader, because I don't read the same amount of I don't read the same kind of horror so like other people read, but I like a specific type of horror books, but I know what I like, and it's easy for me to find what I like, so I'm just gonna stick to that. I also realized how many different books I've read, and this like variety of like how many different books I've read, and like the variety of them all since I've cut out romance. Like I've only read one romance, and since I cut back on my romance, I realized like I read like some sci-fi, I read some horrors, I read some YA books, I read some fantasy. I read a little bit. I'm a little bit of everything, but usually when I'm reading romance, it's mostly romance and then a little bit of everything. But I feel like with this vlog, it was a little bit of everything and then like a little bit of romance, and I really like that. So I feel like honestly, I'm not even mad. The only thing about the power outage that really was irritating was how hot it was. Like I literally couldn't sleep because it was so hot. Like I kept waking up in the middle of the night. I had like this mini fan. It's in my bed. I had this mini fan, and I would wake up in the middle of the night fanning myself because it was so freaking hot. So that was the only thing about the power outage that was really fucking me over. But this brought me back to when I was younger, when I didn't really have a phone, when I would spend all day reading all the time. I would just be around the house reading my book, and that's what I did. Like I was everywhere in the house reading my book, and it just reignited my I always say this because I never lost the love for reading, but it just like reminded me why I love reading, because I have to read every day to feel like I'm sane, and so I don't feel guilty because I'm always reading every day. I've always been reading every day, so when I don't read every day I feel guilty, even though like, you know, but this actually reminded me why I love reading every day and why I love like reading so many books. And I got so much read. I did not think I was gonna hit 15 books this month. I've read 23 books so far. 23. I read 70 books in the last 4 days, bitch. Ugh. And then I've also made it through I made it through a good amount of physical books, because I always feel bad that I'm not reading my physical books because I prefer to hold them up instead of editing the pictures in. So now when I do my wrap up, I can hold these pictures up. I mean, I can hold a good majority of the books up, and I would prefer my wrap ups to be majority physically owned books, and then like ebooks ebooks that I read, you know, or audiobooks that I listen to. And so I just feel like, I don't know, I'm just very happy that this happened to me. Like any other time, like if I would have didn't want this to happen, but I'm happy that it did happen, you know. Like it really got me to get my shit together, you know. And now, even though the power back's on, I still have a few more days of like getting my shit together so I can really stick to my plan. And like I want to see how long I can stick to this and how long it lasts. So maybe I'll do a vlog if you're interested. Like maybe I'll like vlog for the month and just be like, yeah, this is what I read. Or maybe I'll do like a weekly vlog this month, or I don't know, I'll figure out something if that's something that people are interested in. But I'm so happy